In this video, we're going to be talking about some skills that are needed for proper leadership in your media ministry. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com. The link is in the description. I pointed early for some odd reason. So I actually had somebody in the For Me Media group ask me to talk about this. And at no point in time am I the authority on this. I just want to share from my perspective of being the acting media ministry president here at my church for going on 9 years now. So we went through a lot of transitions since me being here. And I don't want to talk about the technology. I want to talk more about the mindset of at least where I come from when it comes to leading a bunch of volunteers in the media ministry. So, and I'm not going to get super biblical unless necessary. So the very first thing that I think a leader needs to be in your media ministry, and this is just a leader in general, no matter what aspect it is, whether it's in church, whether it's outside, is that you need to be a visionary. You need to be able to see those things that are invisible and be able to articulate them in a certain way or demonstrate them with your abilities, your hands, your voice, whatever, and be able to construct the invisible for the people that are on your team. Now, I think when I came in, I was pretty much the most technical person here in our media ministry. And I guess at the time they were saying that I was the most technical person here at my church. So it was a lot of fear, I guess. Oh, no, I wouldn't say fear. It's ignorance, as in the lack of knowledge in this field. And a lot of times you go off of other companies that are specializing in this field, but you don't know if they're telling you a bunch of crap or some legitimate stuff to try and help you with the mission of your church. So I say all that to say that I have a computer science background, and yes, I'm in technology, but that was computers and programming and databases. That wasn't anything to do with video, photography, AV integration, none of that stuff. So what I did is, as a visionary, is I took it upon myself, and I guess this is I'm not numbering these, but I think the second thing I thought about is being able to be self-motivated and actually go educate yourself on this stuff. Whether it be not necessarily seeking out other people to teach you, but sometimes what I learned at college was to learn how to teach myself. And that's learn how to research, how to get the books, how to study, how to put all this stuff together, because there's a lot of stuff that wasn't handed to me that I had to research, trial and error. And that's where this channel came from, is I wanted to take what I've learned and learn the hard way and make it a lot easier to, so you don't have to go through searching all that stuff, but you still need to commit to watching the videos so that you can learn what I'm trying to impart to you. So a leader needs to be able to forge out ahead, be a visionary, but also be able to forge out ahead in no man's land where there's nobody there. And can you establish something where nothing has been established at all? Also, you need to be a people person, not a people pleaser. You need to be a people person, because just as I've been a minister of music for close to 25 years, close to 30 years now, I think about it. Close to 25. And being a pastor, from what I've heard, being a minister of music, and I would probably say media now, are some of the hardest roles that you have to deal with, because you're dealing with people who are not hired, so you can't fire them, and it's a volunteer army, meaning that at any point in time they can choose not to come, and you can't forcibly do anything to make them stay. So your personality, your leadership style, your vision has to inspire those folks to make them want to be a part of that vision. And even if people don't want to be a part of that vision, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with you. It just could be that that's based on the direction that you want to go. This might not be the season for them. This might not be the avenue for them. It could be that they're in your media ministry. They were just doing that because they were biding the time until you stepped up to be that leader that's needed to be there. The other thing that I like to do is actually put the people before the technology or everything that's here. Yes, there is and I'm going to get to the mission of the media ministry, but you need to establish relationships with the people that you're working with. Not just a relationship of like, oh, I talked to you on Sunday when I'm trying to tell you to move this camera in the right direction. No, you need to develop some type of relationship with these folks outside of church. That way people can know the you, not the church you, but the you, but hopefully they'll recognize that the you is the same as the church you. I like to, I call and feel that I can call some of the people in our, hopefully all of them, I can call people in my media ministry here as friends. Like I can talk to them outside of just church stuff. And then also we try to have events before all this COVID stuff happened, where we have events to where we have get-togethers that are our monthly meetings, but we have fun. Like I actually did this one where we went to Top Golf and we just had fun. I'm not a golf person. I'm not a sports person, but this is what the people in my media ministry wanted. So I'm like, hey, this is y'all want to do? Sure. I will support y'all just like I want y'all to support me. This is a decision that I want to do. I want y'all to support that, but y'all want to do sports, y'all want to do golf. Hey, I will give you same 100% effort in the things that y'all recommend, just as if I'm wanting y'all to do that same thing for the things I recommend. Now, more on to the tougher things is a leader in your media ministry. For me, I feel that the buck stops here, meaning that if something does not work, does not happen the way it's supposed to, we do not deliver what we're supposed to do, I take that as something that it's my fault. It's not anybody in the media ministry. If the media ministry didn't do something, then I didn't effectively teach them. I didn't give them it's something that I can improve on instead of me getting after everybody. Now, I want to be realistic. If people have no desire to put 100% effort, I can't change that. Classic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is saying that there's nothing that you, and I'm summarizing this, there's nothing that you can say or do to make people feel or do anything. So I take responsibility for it, but if people in your media ministry or people in general choose not to put forth the effort that's needed to accomplish that, nothing you say can make them do that. Only when they decide it's important to them is when they'll do it. So in other words, that lets you have the stress off of you. So instead of you trying to bash your head up against a wall, how come these people aren't doing this? How come these people aren't doing this? Recognizing they don't have to. You would hope they want to. You show them everything that they need, but if they choose not to, you need to assess and adjust. Meaning that, hey, talk with that person, find out what it is. If you know it's not really there, then try and move them to a different position. And, to where obviously they want to be here, because if they didn't, they wouldn't come like up here. You see the steps behind me. If they didn't want to be up here, they wouldn't come up the steps. So they obviously want to. My whole thing as a leader is find out where their strength is and place them where their strength is. So if you have somebody that has an attention to detail, That could be social media. That could be the website. That could be the soundboard if they have an ear for it. If it's, I want to participate, but I have a short attention span. I mean, it could be manning the camera that's in a stationary position. Find a role for it. Because, I don't want to push anybody out of a media ministry of somebody who wants to be here. But at the same time, we have a mission. And that's the other thing. As a leader, you need to be able to express and exude, show what the mission is of what your media ministry is. I would hope, even if y'all have never been to my church, you would know what my mission is based off of what I discuss on my channel. What I discuss on this channel is no different than what I do here. Now, but again, there are some things I know my audience on YouTube, I know my audience here. There are certain things I can do, there's certain things I can't do, and I always have the mentality of, if you're a captain of a ship or a plane, and I forgot when I used to do Microsoft Flight Simulator, and pilots, please don't get after me of this, but I know when a plane is banking or turning, you can only turn by a certain degree, because you don't want to upset people's stomach, make them feel sick and all this other stuff. Or same way with a boat. If all of a sudden the ship turned 30, 45 degrees out of the blue, like on a dime, you'd have people flying all over the place. So my mindset is, if I'm going to initiate change, I do it 1 degree at a time. So that way, over time, you move in that direction. You don't want to throw in a whole lot of new things at the same time, because people are resistant to change. So you take it a step at a time and move it in that direction. So like everything that we have up here is taken over 8 years for us to get, 8 to 9 years to get to this place. And there's still many things that I'd like to do that I have in my mind as a vision of where to go. But I hope to express and show everybody how every piece of what they're doing in the media ministry contributes to the mission and the vision of the media ministry, which also as a whole contributes to the mission and vision of the pastor of what they want for this church, this extension, this section of the body of Christ here. So I could blab on about this a lot longer, but that's the main thing. You need to understand that as the leader, you need to have a vision. You need to be able to draw and cast a vision of what y'all are going to do. And then recognize that even with that being said, you need to take responsibility for everything that happens here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You also need to be able to, I don't like saying the statement like this, but it's the easiest way to express it. You need to outwork everybody, meaning that I don't know everything up here, but I know something of everything up here. There's so much more I can learn about the audio board. There's so much more I can learn about the cameras and everything like that. So I'm honestly constantly in a position of learning. I don't ever think that I've just arrived. I also work on the relationships of people, find out who they are outside of church, find out what their strengths are, what are their passions. I'm of the mindset that, look, even if you're not interested in the media ministry, I want to find out what your calling is and help you get to that, whatever it is, because God's given everybody a gift and it might not be up here, but I want to help you find that gift and find a place that you will be comfortable, that you can excel in. That's my goal of the media ministry, but also to help share God's word all over the world, leveraging technology the best that we can for the immediate house, the community, state, country, worldwide. That's the goal of me as a leader here in the media ministry, and I try to share that with everybody here so that they understand where I'm coming from, as well as they know that every decision I make always goes back to contribute to that point, and that's it. And I make sure that my pastor is aware as well too, that I get an understanding of where he's coming from, and I let him know that, look, these are the things that we're doing that will complement and help accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So I think that's about it. Let me know Obviously, I'm not talking about tech. I'm not doing anything like that. But a lot of y'all have asked me about that. So that's what my thoughts are on that. Like I said, I don't know everything. That's just what I know where I'm at right now. And I'm constantly learning to get better in this role and in this capacity in whichever way it is possible. So if you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. And again, I want to thank all the patrons that made this video possible. And my screen just went out. So anyway, y'all have a great day, and we will see you on the next video later.